All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Do you remember what the five requirements were from yesterday for writing a complete sentence?
Well, let me see if I got it. I know you need to have a subject,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have a verb,
Mm-hmm.
beginning punctuation,
Mm-hmm.
end punctuation,
Mm-hmm.
and it has to make sense. Is that
Mm-hmm. One more time. What's at the beginning?
a capital letter?
All right. What's at the end?
End punctuation.
What's in the middle?
Um, a subject and a verb
And what does the sentence have to do?
has to make sense.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Okay. So yesterday you learned about all of that, and today we're going to build on that because we're going to learn a strategy for creating simple sentences. Okay. So this is something that, it's going to be important for you to learn because it'll help you write complete simple sentences. So you'll need to know how to do this before you can do tougher stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So just like yesterday, you're gonna have to listen a little bit. You're gonna have to take some notes, and we're gonna do a little bit of discussion. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. So the strategy that we're gonna be talking about is called the PENS strategy.
Nice. Nice.
PENS. PENS strategy. Okay. And then you're going to use the PENS strategy to write sentences today. We're going to use the PENS strategy to write simple sentences today. However, you're going to be able to apply and use the PENS strategy to write more complicated sentences in the future. All right. So the first step of the PENS strategy is it starts with a P, and that's pick a formula. Pick a formula. Now, yesterday you learned a formula, right? Do you remember what that formula was?
I feel like it was like subject, verb.
Subject, verb. See, we just picked our formula because subject, verb, SV. Let's see. So we're gonna write it. SV. Subject, verb is gonna be our formula. Later down the line, you're going to have more formulas, so you'll have to pick between formulas. But today, picking a formula was easy because we just have the
Subject, verb.
subject-verb formula,
All right.
Okay. So the E step is going to be explore words to fit the formula. Explore words to fit the formula. So what that means is we're going to think about words that fit the subject and the verb formula. Okay, so let's start with a subject. Now remember yesterday we talked about subjects. Subjects were going to be the nouns, right? Subject's going to be your person. Subject's going to be your place. Subject's going to be your thing. Person, place, thing. What kind of things do you think would make good subjects?
Maybe watches.
Watches. What else?
Snowflakes.
Watches, snowflakes,
Um, Lip balm.
lip balm. All of those are nouns that make subjects. All right. So let's think about a subject that we'd like to create a sentence about right now. What is a subject that you would like to write about right now?
Let's write about food.
Food.
Actually,
Food. All right. We got food written down there. We're going to write a sentence about food. All right. So our subject will be food. Now, that's half of the middle, right? Half of that subject, verb. So we got our subject. Now we got to think about a verb. Now, yesterday we discussed verbs, and a verb is an action word, right? A verb is going to be something that your mind or your body can do, right? What are some verbs that you remember from yesterday?
jump.
Jump,
Boil.
boil,
Um,
okay,
You know, fly.
fly, Jump, boil, fly. All right. So what's a verb that you think would work in a sentence with our chosen subject, food? What's a verb that would work in a sentence with our chosen subject, food?
I'm feeling a little bit weird about it. I don't know what the food can do. Could the food smell, but not like the food is smelling, but is that a verb?
Food. Smell. Smell, is that something that your mind or your body could do? Smell.
It is. It is, but I don't know if it makes sense to use that as a verb. I'm thinking too hard about this.
Does the food give off a scent?
It does. It does.
And what do we call it when something gives off a scent?
Then it smells.
Smells. I think we have a verb that works. Let's write down smells.
Right.
Okay. So now that we got our 2 words chosen, and we're a little bit ahead of ourselves here because we've explored, so we've chosen our words. Now that we have our 2 words chosen, we go to the end step, which is going to be note the words. Note the words. And what I want you to do to note the words is I simply want you to write the subject and the verb that you have chosen. As you write the words, you want to be careful to include, you want to be careful to think about what you need in your sentence, to include your sentence besides the words. What are things you need to include in your sentence besides the words? We got the subject and the verb. What else do we need to include?
We need that end punctuation.
Yep, we need the end punctuation.
We need that capital letter at the front.
We need that capital letter at the front.
And we need to make sure that it makes sense also.
Make sure that it makes sense also. Perfect. All right. So right now, I'm going to write a sentence that uses the 2 words. Okay. I'm going to take care to start my sentence with a capital letter. So I'm going to start my sentence. I'm going to write the sentence right here, right? See that? I started with a capital letter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's going to be my subject. And we said smells, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't want to do that quite yet. I'm going to ask you, what kind of end punctuation should I put at the end of this sentence? The food smells.
Well, it feels like a statement, so you could put a period there, right?
Okay, okay. Period. The food smells. The food smells. All right. Okay. So now we've noted the words. Now we go on to the next step. The next step of our strategy is going to start with the letter what?
S.
The letter S. All right. And that is going to stand for search and check. Search and check. This step is going to be used to check whether you have a complete sentence, fits the formula that we've chosen, that SV. Okay, we're going to search and check. So we can do a couple of different things. Our whole purpose is to check the sentence, check to see whether it meets all of the 5 requirements of the sentence. So today I'm going to show you how to do 3 parts of a strategy, and that strategy is going to be called the mark strategy. The S of the pen strategy has 4 parts, and they spell the word mark. Actually, I will show you this card. It has 4 parts to spell the word mark, right? So we're going to leave the M blank because the M is going to come back to haunt you later.
Oh, no.
All right. But we're going to start with the A. A. And that word right there is going to be ask.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to ask, is there a verb? The first part of the search and search and check step is to ask, is there a verb? Okay, so in this step, you're going to search for it and find a verb in the sentence, and you're going to write a V above it to indicate that verb. So here's how we search for a verb in the sentence. Search for the verb in the sentence. Yeah, think to myself, is there an action word here? Is the an action word? Is the something I can do with my mind or my body?
No.
Okay. Is food an action word? Is food something that I can do with my mind or my body?
It's not.
No. Is smells an action word? Is smell something I can do with my mind or my body?
Yes.
Yes. So that's going to be our verb,
Cool.
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to identify our verb simply by writing a V above it. A V to find the word verb. And that is the A step. That is, we asked if there was a verb, we surveyed the sentence, and we found which word was a word that our mind and body could do. Smells, that's our verb, right? So we got that other half of the middle now, right? And that's going to bring us to another portion of the mark, okay? And that's root. We're going to root out the subject, okay? And the way we root out the subject is we use a root question, right? We're going to use a root question. That root question is going to be who or what, and notice we have a blank here. So that question is actually who or what blank. What do you think we put in that blank spot?
Thing. The subject.
Not the subject, the verb. So we're going to put the verb in there. Could I just have you try to put the verb in that blank for me and say the whole question?
We'll put the verb in there. We will ask who or what verb. Who or what does.
Who or what does. What if we use our chosen verb? Our chosen verb and run the question again.
Okay.
Who or what?
Who or what smells.
Who or what smells? In our sentence, who or what smells in our sentence?
The food.
The food, right? So we have the answer to that question. The answer to that question is going to serve as our subject. So what is our subject?
The food.
The food. Is it the food or is it food?
It's food.
Food. So we're going to take that word food in our sentence. We're going to write an S above it. Okay. So let's see how this works for the sentence we wrote. We did that. You'll notice that verb in the sentence we found. Blank. Yep, we did all that. All right. So we wrote an S above food. We wrote a V above verb. So I think, my friend, we are done with the R portion of the mark step.
Beautiful.
Here comes the last part of the mark step, and that's going to be K. Now, K's got 3 subsets too. So for K is going to stand for key in on the, and we're going to say the beginning, the ending, and the meaning. Okay? So we're going to key in on the beginning, we're going to key in on the ending, and we're going to key in on the meaning. All right? So what that means is, whenever you write a sentence, we want to check that it has, to key in on the beginning, we're going to check that it has what in the beginning?
That it has a capital letter.
It has a capital letter. To key in on the ending, we're going to check that it has what at the end?
End punctuation.
End punctuation, which may be
a period.
A
question mark.
Or a
exclamation point.
Okay. And then we're going to clear in on the meaning. So we clear in on the meaning by checking to see if our sentence makes sense. right?
Okay.
So let's read our sentence. The food smells.
Food smells. Mm-hmm.
Okay, food can smell.
Yes.
So that makes sense, right? But if it said the food drove, would that make sense?
Food can't drive.
Food can't drive. No. But the food can smell, right?
Yes.
So our sentence does make sense, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go through now. We're just going to take a look here at the steps. All right. So the first step of the pen strategy is going to be pick a formula, right? Second step is going to be explore the words to fit the formula, right? Third step is going to be note the words. Third step is going to be search and check. And search and check is going to have its subset. That's going to be arc. The M's coming later. But the A is going to stand for ask.
Is there a verb?
Verb. The R is going to stand for root.
Out the subject.
Yep. The K.
Key in on the beginning, ending, and the meaning.
Key in on the beginning, ending, and the meaning. That's right. And these things are called acronyms. Yes. So the steps, when they're listed out, they spell a word. Yes. So the steps in the name of our strategy spell pens, right? Pens. And the steps in the search and check portion spell mark, right?
Yes.
So we can remember that by remembering what pens do. What do pens do?
They do mark.
Pens mark. Pens mark on the page. So when you want to write a sentence, you want to break it down, you're going to use pens mark. Pens mark. So let's just go through here and drill the steps of the pens formula. I'm going to point to a letter, and you're just going to speak the step. All right? Ready?
Pick a formula. Explore words to fit the formula. Note the words. Search and check.
P.
Pick a formula.
E.
Explore words.
N.
Note the words.
S.
Search and check.
P.
Pick a formula.
E.
Explore words.
N.
Note the words.
S.
Search and check.
All right. And the mark step, don't worry about the M. We'll learn the M later. But what about the A?
Ask, is there a verb?
What about the R?
Root out the subject.
K.
Key in on the beginning, ending, and meaning.
A.
Ask, is there a verb?
R.
Root out the subject.
K.
Key in on the beginning, ending, and meaning.
One more time. A.
Ask, is there a verb?
R.
Root out the subject.
What are you going to ask to root out the subject?
I'm going to ask who or what blank.
Who or what blank? And key.
Key in on the beginning, ending, and meaning.
All right. So now, it's time to start trying to practice using that S step of the pens strategy. I've got this learning sheet 2A here, okay? So what I want you to do, I lost my mark strategy, and we're going to need that. So pick it up. And we're going to practice our mark steps, all right? So what we have here is a sentence. Could you read that sentence for me?
Yep. The horse ran fast.
The horse ran fast. Okay. What's the first step of the mark?
First step of the mark is ask, is there a verb?
Is there a verb there?
I do see a verb. So, yeah, I see a verb. I think the verb is ran.
Why do you think the verb is ran?
Because it's a thing you can do with your body.
All right. So R. How are we going to do the R step with this sentence?
We gotta root out the subject, so we have to ask who or what ran.
And who or what ran?
The horse ran.
Horse ran. So where are we going to put our S?
The S over horse.
All right. So now we got our K step. All right. We're going to key in on the beginning. How are you going to key in on the beginning?
We'll look for a capital letter.
Is there a capital letter at the beginning of that
I
one?
don't see one. It's missing.
All right. Why don't you fix that and put one there?
There we go.
All right. Now we're going to key in on the ending.
Okay.
What are we looking for?
Look for end punctuation, period, exclamation point, or question mark.
Is that there?
It is there. I see it.
All right. What about the meaning?
It makes sense because a horse can run.
Okay, okay. So we like that one.
Yeah.
What about sentence number 2?
Sentence number 2, Peter swims every day.
All right. Is there a verb?
There is a verb. The verb is swims.
Okay, let's put a V above that. What's the subject?
Well, Peter swims, so I think Peter is the subject.
Peter is the subject. Okay, and we key in on the beginning, what do you see?
I see a capital letter at the beginning.
And we key in on the end, what do you see?
I don't see any end punctuation.
Uh-oh. What do we put there?
It'd be weird as a question. I think it makes sense to put a period there.
All right, I do too.
There it is.
All right. Doesn't make sense.
It does. It does.
Okay.
Peter could swim every day.
All right, let's do that next one.
Okay. Okay, well,
Let's read it first.
Sarah danced all night.
All right, let's ask what?
Is there a verb?
Is there one?
There is a verb, and the verb is danced.
Okay, let's put a V above that one. All right, what's next?
Okay, root out the subject.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to ask who or what, in this case, danced. And Sarah danced
Okay, so we're going to put that S where?
over Sarah.
All right. Okay, now we key. What are we going to key in on first?
Start with our capital letter, looking for a capital letter at the beginning, but
Is it there?
It's not there.
Let's put it there.
There it is.
There it is. All right. Key in on the ending.
I do see end punctuation. It's a period.
All right, all right, all right. We like that. What about the meaning?
Sarah danced all night. It makes sense.
Makes sense. Sarah could dance unless Sarah has 2 left feet. Okay. What about number 4?
Sentence says, my cat cooked dinner.
My cat cooked dinner. Is there a verb?
There is a verb. The verb is cooked.
All right, let's put the V above that. All right. Let's root out the subject.
Subject. Okay. Well, who or what cooked? My cat. The cat cooked.
Cat cooked. Let's put the S over the cat.
Got it.
And let's key in on the beginning.
I see a capital letter at the beginning of the sentence.
Perfect. Ending.
And I do see end punctuation on the sentence.
Does it make sense?
I don't think it makes sense. I don't think any cat can cook.
I don't think any cat can cook either.
Okay.
So we're going to say that one doesn't make sense. But how can we make it make sense?
Maybe we could change the subject.
What can we change it to?
Could change it to my friend.
Yeah,
Friend.
go ahead and do that. Now, do we have a sentence that makes sense?
My friend cooked dinner. Yes.
I like it. All right. Sentence number 5.
Sentence number 5. I like pizza.
All right. Let's ask.
Is there a verb?
Is there one?
Yes, like is a verb.
Okay. Okay.
Little V.
Let's root out subject.
Okay. Well, who likes? I like. I like.
Okay.
So there's a subject.
All right. And it's time to key. Key in on that beginning.
Okay. There is a capital letter at the beginning of the
Okay.
sentence.
We like that.
Hmm. But there's no end punctuation at the end of the sentence.
How do we fix that?
I think we need a period here.
Period there.
Period in.
And the meaning, does it make sense?
It makes sense. You can like pizza. I can like pizza. That's the thing.
I can like pizza. You can like pizza. And I think we're done for the day.
Oh, delightful.
All right.
Delightful.